as someone who watches our channel and other art YouTube channels, you yourself may want to start one. Honestly, you guys have asked us about this in the past, and honestly, Bones and I have never had like a good answer about how to start one. I don't think I can do like a full step-by-step tutorial about how to start your own art channel, because honestly, I don't think there's like a right way to do it, which is a pretty lousy answer if you want to do it and you're feeling nervous or not sure where to start. I guess I can kind of start with how Bones and I created our channel. So it started out, I came up to him, I was like, hey, I want to start a podcast about creating comics. And he was like, okay, what if we turned it into a YouTube channel? And I was like, okay. So that's how that started. We started out with the 100 Days of Making Comics challenge, which you can see if you look at our channel. And that gave us lots of content and lots of time to talk about comics. And that's kind of how we started up. I think a big factor that got us a lot of viewers early on was doing that challenge. And they have like a Facebook group and stuff where you can post, because like the 100 Days has like a really great community around it of really supportive people, and it's very common for people to make video series. I think that's like part of the challenge anyways, where, you know, everyone watches each other's stuff and it's really supportive, and I think that was a big factor on kind of what gave us our legs here on YouTube. It totally, I don't know if that would work for everyone, and honestly, I'm sure not everyone watching this wants to do 100 Days of Making Comics. It's a very long challenge, and, you know, maybe you don't want to make comics content. I get you. Comics are the worst. But basically what I've learned from doing this for like, 3 years now? 2 years? Something like that. I think we started in 2018, is that the YouTube algorithm is fickle and no one understands it. There's no right way to make a channel. So for example, the algorithm has blessed us like twice in our YouTube career, where once during Inktober in a previous year, we got this huge spike in followers. And we were like, yeah, our channel's finally kicking off. And it lasted for like a month or 2 months or something. And then it tailed off. And then after that, we got like terrible views, like lower than we'd had before the spike. And currently, we are going through another spike where we're getting lots of views. We have no idea why. We attributed the first one to like, maybe our Inktober is just really popular. But now I don't know, because I don't know what we're doing right now that's popular. So yeah, I have no idea what causes the algorithm to put our videos into people's feeds, and I have no idea what causes it to not show our videos. I don't know what drives people to come find our stuff. I just don't know, and I don't think anyone knows, and anyone who thinks they know is lying or game theory. And it's very emotionally taxing as well to run a YouTube channel. I'll tell you what, because it's honestly half the time whenever we're going through one of those slumps where like our videos aren't getting any views, I'm just like, our stuff is stale, or I'm bad at art, or I'm bad at making videos, and it's just, I get really down on myself. And Bones does the same to him, and it's tough. And I'm sure we're not alone. I've seen lots of YouTubers who talk about how like the numbers game can really get to you and make you feel pretty bad. So yeah, there's no tips or tricks that'll get your videos watched as far as I know. You can follow the guides out there like word for word, and your video still might not get looked at, which is super disheartening. And this honestly feels so depressing to talk about, but it's so real. There's actually a really great video by Big Joel about small YouTube culture that kind of hits on this, where it's like there's no kind of formula for having a successful YouTube channel, and how trying to chase trends or optimize your videos to like peak performance based on everyone's suggestions, like that doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna get you views. It's a lovely video. It's a lot less depressing than it sounds. So yeah, give that a watch if you are interested and about that kind of end of things. But yeah, I guess talking about our own experience with making videos. I've been feeling this way. I was thinking about this before I decided to make this video, where I sometimes feel like I am afraid to work super hard on a video because I don't know if it's gonna get noticed at all. I think a lot of the time we often do videos like this one where it's, voiceover of some art footage that has nothing to do with the audio. It's just me working on my comics, and we do it because it's very easy to produce, and it's fun to produce as well. I get to work on my comics and I get to talk about whatever my ideas for comic stuff is. So it's fun. It's easy to produce. And if it hits off because people like our topic, that's awesome. Sometimes it hits off. I don't know why. But sometimes I'll have an idea for a video that would be a lot more labor intensive. And I sometimes don't want to do it just because I don't know if it's going to get any views or if I'm just going to tire myself out. The thing is, YouTube for us is a side hustle among many side hustles, which is not an uncommon thing these days. So between my day job and us working on comics and other hobbies and jobs and stuff, it is hard to choose what to focus on sometimes. And the other thing about our YouTube channel is that we also produce on a weekly schedule. And it's good because it keeps us updating the channel and continuously putting out work, but it's also kind of limiting just because of that really short deadline. So I could work really hard to create something that's more produced or more edited or something than what we normally do. But with all my other work that I have to do throughout the week, it's really difficult to find time to do that when I maybe have a couple hours every night of free time. So I don't know if we could make something more produced unless we took a big break, which I don't necessarily want to do right now since we do have patrons who are paying for content and I don't want to let those guys down, And yeah, like I said, this all sounds super depressing and it sounds like I don't like making YouTube videos, which is not true. I really like working on our videos. I like having a space where I can talk about comics. And I think creating a YouTube channel, creating an art channel is really worthwhile making. It's really fun to create videos. I like having a platform where I can articulate my thoughts about art and storytelling and comics. I wanted to make that podcast where I talked about the art of making comics, and because it's something I'm really passionate about, and in the past I haven't had many places to talk about it because so it is nice to just kind of have a place where I can just shout and people listen, and that's cool. So yeah, it's a really fun way to kind of learn as a creator and to just make cool stuff and find friends. I've met some really wonderful people through this channel, and I also have grown a lot as an artist thanks to the constant feedback we get from comments and from people on our Discord. It's kind of cheesy, but I also have always kind of wanted to have a space where I can like people in like the LGBT community. I've always wanted like a job that would allow me to do that. And like, I know that we're just like a silly little channel about making comics, but I'm really happy that the majority of our audience is like full of LGBT people and queer folk, who have stories that they want to tell. And I'm so happy whenever I find out that one of you guys has found our videos helpful. That's so heartwarming, and it's really fulfilling. So yeah, that's my cheesy little rant. Doing YouTube is a very weird job. So if you do want to start a channel, here is my advice. My kind of lousy advice. I would say just create videos that make you happy. You know, whether that is making videos talking about your OCs, whether it's like doing tutorials or doing story times, whatever it is. If you talk about painting, if you talk about comics, talk about commissions, I don't know, whatever. Whatever excites you, whatever makes you happy, whatever you feel like you could talk about a lot, just do it. There's no format of video that's going to be more popular than other ones. Sometimes, one kind of video catches on, and then, when we'll catch on and then die off in a month and then pick up somewhere else. And there's no right answer. The algorithm is fickle, like I said. So there's no use kind of chasing trends. Just be yourself and make content that you like. And working on your comic, the more videos you make, the better at it you're gonna get. I'd also recommend, if you're working on your channel and you're not getting views on things, definitely try experimenting, try different types of videos. That was something that stumped us for a long time, was we kept making very similar videos, or we tried a series, my vlog series about making 9 points. We did a lot of episodes of that, and people just weren't following along as the series got bigger and bigger, and we were like, you know what, let's try something new. This isn't working, it's more work than we're seeing results in. So don't be afraid to try new things, but just always do something that you like. I'd also recommend, if you do start a channel, try not to focus on subscriber counts or view counts. It is now this is it's real easy for me to say with thousands of subscribers to our channel. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, our channel is still pretty small. It's a small fish. And also, what I've learned as our channel has grown is that the first 100 subscribers feels exactly the same as your 30,000th subscriber. It's weird. You think it's eventually you're going to hit a number where you're totally happy, but you're always going to be hoping it's going to grow and become a larger number, because that's what grow means. But it's always going to kind of eat away at you if you stare at the number and, hound yourself about why am I not getting more subscribers? Why aren't my views going up? Remember, the algorithm is fickle. So personally, I don't look at numbers anymore, or as much as possible. Obviously, I see it sometimes, because I find when I watch the numbers, it just makes me really depressed. There's literally nothing I can do except keep creating content. So I might as well just put my head down, make the content, and have fun instead of worrying about numbers all the time. Now, I guess thinking about it, if I had any hot tips and tricks for you to do starting your channel, I would recommend a few things that might make getting views a little bit easier. Number one would be lean into clickbaity titles and thumbnails. It seems silly. I was really resistant at first, but Bones was like, hell no, we're doing it. So clickbait insinuates that you're lying about your content in your thumbnail or title or whatever, but you don't have to lie about it. You just kind of take the most sensational section of your video and that's your title, if that makes any sense. So for example, say you have a video that's you're going over kind of beginner things to watch out for as a beginner artist, problems you might run into. Instead of saying something long like that, you say top 5 beginner artist mistakes, and just kind of make it sound more clickbaity. And honestly, I think that one kind of works. It does kind of get you more clicks if you go a little sensational as art YouTube can be. And I'd also recommend making sure that your thumbnails are legible. It's very tempting to use, say, cursive fonts or script fonts, but you should note that they're hard to read, especially if the writing is small or it's very low contrast color-wise. So make sure you're using very legible typefaces and lots of contrast so that it's readable from the tiny little thumbnail that they're going to see on the side of the screen. I'd also recommend aiming for nice audio. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means, and you don't have to go ham on buying all this expensive audio equipment. I don't know what audio equipment to recommend, honestly. That's not my forte. Bones has kind of handled that, and he usually just will research lots of other YouTubers and stuff. So there's lots of resources on kind of what audio stuff to grab. But we do all our audio mixing in Audacity, which is a free software. And we have a dinky USB mic that we use for most of our videos. But I would recommend making your audio as nice as possible. So removing noise, equalizing and normalizing and all that good audio stuff that I sure know a lot about. Just because even if, say, your visuals aren't 4K, at least your audio will sound nice to listen to. Because what we've learned is a lot of people will just take say, art videos and just throw them up in the background while they work, which is really cool. So hi, you, if you're listening to this while you work, good job. Proud of you. Keep working hard. I guess, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like other pieces of like practical advice. Maybe this is just like my pet peeve when I'm listening to videos, but like cut any preamble when you start your video, just cut to the chase. Just because if I'm watching a video and it's like 10 minutes of someone like giving me an update on their life or apologizing for not uploading, I'm like, I'm bored and I leave. Maybe I'm fickle. But I don't know. Cut to the chase. Just start with your theme or your thesis or whatever for your video and then dive in from there. Maybe that'll work. But again, all these things, experiment, play around, do what you like. There's no hard and fast rules, like I've been saying this whole time. So yeah, make what you want, but I guess make it as optimized as possible. I hope that advice helped. Good luck. I also don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, go make your channel. Goodbye. I'm so sorry.